All right, so guys, we're honored today to be joined by one of the most powerful voices in our genre, Grammy-winning legend, entrepreneur, and actress, Yolanda Adams. Yolanda, welcome to the Buzz. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me today.
Of course. We're truly honored to be speaking to you. It's not every day we get to, speak to someone of your caliber and experience has been paving the way in the industry and just music at large. And I know we're going to be talking about your single that's been climbing the chart, Blessings, now in the top 10 position, and we can't wait to dive into that. But I figure while we have you here, we can touch at least a little bit on your overall evolution within music.
Oh, that sounds good. Come on, let's go.
You've been a trailblazer in gospel music for decades, but I guess the question here, the first one would be, what's been the key to staying grounded and relevant for such a long time?
You know what? I think the key, Sherwin, is just being authentically you and staying in the lane that God gave you to stay in. I have so many beautiful, wonderful people in the industry who are my dearest friends, like Vicky Winans, all of the Clark sisters, uh, you know, um, just Lisa Page, Brooks, and so many women that I know. And the one thing that has helped us all survive and thrive is that I'm not trying to be CC.
Yeah.
CC's not trying to be me. Vicky's not trying to be the Clark sisters. We all know our space and we thrive and grow in our space. And I think whenever you ask God to stretch your borders and expand your territory, he does it so that you can be authentically you and no one else. And I think that's the key to the longevity.
Wow, I love that, and I love how the fact as well too that within a space like this, when there's just so many that's doing such impactful work, and everyone is taking their own journey and just so solidified within their own identity, and I think that's key what you touched on, and kind of even going back a little bit. I mean, looking at it from mountain highs, valley low to now. How would you say, just from in terms of music and ministry, has just evolved even in your own personal journey? Because you're still on, you're
Well,
still, go ahead.
no. I was about to say that's so perceptive. I believe that everything evolves and grows. So during mountain high valley low days, folks were just getting to the place where gospel music was really being played
Hmm.
everywhere and not just on the gospel stations. And people started saying, well, okay, yeah, that makes sense to hear Open My Heart on the Steve Harvey show or the Tom Joyner show, and it hit in America, and then it started hitting in the Caribbean, then it started hitting in Africa and Asia and just all places. And now with social media and people being able to just log on to your page or go to your YouTube channel and see your everyday life, I think it makes it a whole lot better for people to say, oh, wow, so she's really a regular person just like me. She just has a different type of platform.
Yeah. No, that's so true with the advent of social media and just easy reachability and just being able to pierce into what someone is doing. I think that's a blessing. In some cases, it can be a little bit more, but I'm assuming it is a blessing if and when used well.
Yes, absolutely.
And you spoke just now when you mentioned the Clark sisters and chess because you guys recently wrapped the Kingdom tour. You completed the Kingdom tour with Kirk Franklin and friends, and we were able to see you. And I believe it might have been in the New Jersey stop. Yeah, I think that's where I saw that. So
Mm-hmm.
what was that experience like for you? Just kind of being back on the road, city to city, stop to stop, and just doing what you love to do in these large venues again.
I loved it because it wasn't just the fact that we were all on tour. It was the fact that we were all together,
Yes.
all at one time. I mean, now, do you know how hard it is for all of us to get our schedules uh,
Totally
a
not.
line so we don't have anything around that. For all of us to be able to do that, when I tell you, it was definitely a miracle. But when I tell you, we had so much fun traveling the United States, telling people about how good God is. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. And every night, God did something really amazing within that arena or within those stadiums. My daughter and I are still talking about it to this day, that it shows you, touring shows you what you're made of, because you're constantly working. You have 5 days on, maybe one day off, a half a day the next day for press and radio and television and all of that kind of stuff. And so you really have to be on your best, physically, mentally, definitely spiritually,
Yes.
because it's a lot of work. But the rewards are so awesome when you hear 6,000 to 10,000 people singing your songs, and it makes you feel so good that the music has impacted their lives in that way.
Indeed, and for someone that was right there, it was truly something to just behold of just being there. You mentioned your daughter. Your daughter pretty much is like your splitting image. That's like your twin. You guys take photos. Everyone is always like, "Who is who again?"
Well, thank you guys for saying that. But yeah, we all know that Taylor is much younger and much more beautiful. And what I'm so happy about is that she is now realizing, because she now has her own career, how important what we had been doing all her little life and, all her life, and why it's so important to love on people, why it's so important to live a life that you're, very proud of, how to, how to navigate situations that are difficult, because you will have the good, you will have the bad, you will have all kinds of things happen in life, but it's all in how you view it. Your perspective can change the way your day starts. I say all the time, we have one or two ways to live. You can live happy and joyous, or you can live and sad. And I do not like the latter. So I wake up every morning with joy in my heart, thanking God for the day and anticipating great things to come.
And amen, and that's truly a blessing. And even speaking about blessing, kind of going back to this single that's just been destroying the charts and well on its way up. You had an opportunity. I know you worked with Donald Lawrence and Sir the Baptist on that, but you've worked with just so much in general. So much great producers and writers and such. What was this experience working with Donald and Sir the Baptist on this single?
Well, the great thing is Donald and I are like brother and sister. And so whenever he's doing something, I'm always there. And whatever I need him, he's always there for me. And I told him that I wanted a song that would help people realize the power that's on the inside of them, the blessings that are on the inside of them. And, we just have to walk it out, wait it out until God says, okay, now it's time to release those blessings. But you just have to remind people that they're there. And he got with Sir the Baptist. And when I tell you, the songs that they came out with, that blessings is a blessing.
Yes.
And people love the song. They want to hear it, and I'm just really, really proud of the entire project, Sunny Days, because it gives you the reinforcement and the encouragement that you need to make it through every single day of your life.
Wow. I love that. And yes, the entire project Sunny Days that's out on all platforms right now. I know you also worked with Jimmy Jan and Terry Lewis and several others just in other parts of the album itself too. And it's a great album. It's definitely one of those, albums you can put in. And you had some house music in there. You got a lot in there. It was good to see, yes, we got what we've known to love over the years, but you also took some different risk, and that's always great to see.
Yeah, because I have fans from all over the world. And, like in Sweden and places like that, house is real huge.
Yeah.
And so one of the guys who I've known forever, working with him with the Grammy, the Recording Academy, Jay Ivy, said, Miss Yolanda, you know, they are playing your stuff over there, but they're putting a house beat to it. And he's like, you're huge over there. You need to go and tour. And I'm like, okay, I'll go when I'm invited. And then when he said that, I said, wow. So if they're playing that on the other side of the world like that and they're engaging, let me put something that that is mine that we can call our own so they can play it over there as well. And when we started the house mix for church doors, I told J.I., I said, you got to come on and you got to do the spoken word thing because, you know, I can do it, but, you know, it won't be as fly as yours. And so that's why we were able to do that. You know, I'm surrounded by so many amazing young people, and I love giving young people a chance to shine and show their, you know, show their greatness. We got a chance to perform it on the Today Show, I think it was, or Good, whichever one it was. We were in New York.
We saw it. We saw that. That was amazing to see.
Yes, and we had so much fun doing it. You know, Hoda and Jenna were so gracious, and I just have to shout out my team, Team Adams, and also Epic Records, and all of the folks who make sure on a daily basis that the music is given a fair shake. And I have to thank you too, Sharon, for playing the music and talking about the music. And, you know, without you, people wouldn't hear it. So thank you as well.
Indeed, for sure. We do all we can just to promote it and get the music out there. I guess the last thing I'll ask, you know, we're coming up on time. I want to be respectful of your time, but I know, you know, outside of the mic, you've also been acting. You know, we've seen you on Kingdom Business. You know, you have launched, you know, a watch line. So you've definitely done a whole lot more. You've been super successful with music, you know, with authorship and all of that. But just for someone that is just now coming behind and looking at all that you have done and they're now starting up, like what word of advice or encouragement or, you know, you would say, hey, these are some of the things, or this is the one or two things that have really kept you throughout these years?
Oh, wow. First of all, a relationship with God, you can't do it without that.
Yeah.
And I don't suggest trying to live life without God. So that's the first thing. The second thing is stay true to who you are. No matter what trends are coming and going, stay true to who you are, because when you stay true to who you are, you will grow. Like I said in the beginning, you will be able to grow in your space, and God will give you opportunities to go all over the world and do what you do. And, you know, and pace yourself, be patient with yourself, give yourself grace. You know, you're not going to get it right every single time, but learn the lesson from every moment though. You know, don't think that you have to build Rome in 15 minutes. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, so enjoy it, you know, find your voice, find your niche, and be the best that you can in everything that you do. Don't let anybody, you know, if this is what you want to do, learn the history of gospel music. Learn the history of anything you want. If you want to be a sculptor, learn the history of that. Don't let anybody come to you that's younger than you and tell you more about your craft than you. And, you know, it's with anything. You know, I wouldn't want a heart specialist who is, you know, supposed to be a heart specialist not know what valve needs to do whatever, you know, and he's supposed to, you know, he's a specialist, so he's supposed to know that. So, and I think that's one of the things that I love about what we do. We can literally change the world by the knowledge that we have and the heritage that we are pressing forward. Gospel music did not start with us, so it's not going to end with us. But what we can do is we can make sure that gospel music prospers as a result of us. So know your craft, know it up and down, be true to yourself, give yourself grace, but most importantly, have a relationship with God.
Wow. Yolanda Adams, thank you so much for coming on with us today. Thank you for all that you've been doing for the genre, for just music in general, and all that you've done. And we can't wait to get an opportunity to meet you in person at some point over the upcoming year. Again, thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as soon as I see you, I'm going to give you a big hug.
Well, there we go. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again. Take care.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.